This is chapter 5, and it's called Everywhere is 6241 South Washtenaw. My parents, I believe I said in a previous chapter, lived in a really pretty little house in Inglewood on the south side of Chicago, in a poor neighborhood, Inglewood, and they lived across the street from St. Rita of Kasha Church, and their address was 6241 South Washtenaw. My sister and my brother got the house for Mommy and Daddy. They actually were renting it with the option of purchasing it, but of course never did purchase it. But my parents were in the home for more than 30 years. So, of course, after Mommy became ill and was in and out of the hospital and a rehab facility or two, we had to decide what was going to happen with our mother, how she was going to live out the remainder of her life. And the only thing that all four of us, all of her children, were certain of was that she was not going to be placed in a facility. She was going to be looked after until she went to be with God. In heaven, she was going to be looked after by one or all of her children. So it was agreed between my brother and my sister that they would have to sell the house, which, of course, Mommy wasn't really aware of because of the dementia. But Mommy loved the house. It would never have been an option to sell the house. My mother would have wanted to die in that house, but she couldn't because she was ill, and she didn't really remember the house anymore. But what she did remember very clearly was her little room that was in the back of the house, the back of the inside of the house, down the hall. She spent the majority of her time in her little room with her beautiful bedroom set and her TV and all of her special things. That she remembered very clearly. So when they sold the house and everything was being packed up to move out of the house, for whatever reason, I decided that I was going to remove the sign that was screwed onto the front door. And the sign was simply the numbers 6241. At that time, I didn't understand why I was going to do that. Please excuse me. I didn't understand why I wanted to do that, but I guess it was meant for me to do it because what it represented for Mommy until she left this world. And so I detached the sign, and whenever Mommy had to stay in a rehab facility or at the hospital, I brought that sign. And of course, as I've said before in a previous chapter, I would make wherever Mommy was as pretty and as comfortable and as homey as I possibly could. So that meant bringing the sign and displaying it somewhere where Mommy could actually see it from her bed. I would bring little knickknacks that she would keep in the house when she had the house. I would do everything. I had a throw on this little sofa that she had in her room at the hospital or at the rehab facility. I had my own cleaning supplies. I used my body spray to spray the room so that it smelled really, really good, really sweet. And I had special little lights and everything. And of course, I had Mommy's Chanel number 5 that I sprayed on her when she was dressed. So everything was comfortable in Mommy's rooms. Her nurses would always come in and say, "It smells so good in here. Your mom's room always smells so good and it's so comfortable." And they would just come and sit down, and laugh and talk to me and talk to Mommy. So everywhere Mommy went, that sign went. Everywhere. To the 2 rehab facilities. Anytime she was in the hospital, I had to pack her things and I had to pack that sign. So what would happen is that wherever Mommy went, she thought she was at home. She really thought that she was in her home at 6241 South Washtenaw because of that sign. It was amazing how that one sign with those numbers in her mind made her believe that she was at home. So she never thought she was away. She never cried because she thought that she was away. She would cry when I left. She didn't cry because she thought she wasn't at home. She always thought she was at home because she always saw the sign. It was the funniest thing. She always thought that she was at home. Well, there's a funny story that goes with this too, but I'm saving those for the memories chapter. Oh, but she always thought she was at home because of the sign with the numbers 6241. And so that was probably the best thing of all of there were many good things, many special moments with Mommy, but that was really special because of how attached she was to her home that she shared with Daddy and with us, with her children, with her grandchildren, with her great-grandchildren. Those numbers, that sign, 6241 South Washtenaw, meant so much to Mommy that everywhere she went, as long as that sign was there, she was home. That was special and that was important to us. In the next chapter, I'll be talking about how I came to be the one to take care of Mommy until she left this world.